Testing, testing, 1, 2, testing. Testing 1, 2, testing. Testing 1, 2. Testing 1, 2, testing. All right. Put a 1 in the chat if you can hear me. All right. I got you. On Christ. All right. Got class. If you can hear me, put a 1 in the chat, guys. Checking class. Put a 1 in the class. In the chat. Had some technical difficulties. We'll go over that again. Not a problem. All right. Let's lock you for a second. Yeah, check in. All right. All right. Okay. Let's go over this a second here. We have some technical difficulties right here. All right. If you can hear me okay, the men salute, we'll go back over it. We're talking the connectors, how we talk for people just starting out here to talk the dependent connectors, independent connectors. We have the Most High. You should be able to hear me now. All right. Yahweh. For your class, for the class, when you want to say the men salute, you want to say Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai Barak Atham. And we're going to go over the spelling of those in Hebrew and the ancient Hebrew and the Syrian Hebrew. Okay? All right. So, Yahweh, independent connector. These symbols and that's underneath the characters, these characters make sounds. Of course, they help spell and enunciate that whole word. So, independent sound of Yah, that's what this is, Yah. Of course, we have Ha. All right. And then we have Wa, but you don't want to say Yahweh. So we drop the Ha sound right here. Like this. We don't need this. That Ha that normally carries in. We don't need that. Because it wouldn't have a function. But we stop. But we need that Ha sound in the beginning of that. Of the Ha. That would be here, but we don't need the ah behind it. Or would be, you would have Yahweh. That's important. And all words are built like that. At the end, something peculiar happens. And that's how the Hebrew sounds are formed. And you have to have Yahweh. You hear the ha, but you don't hear the ah on the end. Okay, that makes sense? So, okay, all right. Good. Okay, so that's for in Hebrew, you have to be cognizant of dependent and independent connectors. They make all the difference in the world when you're trying to spell something. And of course, this is the ancient Hebrew. And then the Assyrian Hebrew will look similar, but it doesn't. It has characters, but the characters look different, of course. But you have to spell it. So let's spell that word. Let's put it in a different color. Let's put it in let's say green, so people will understand and spell that word. So we say Yah. Let's put it up here. Let's put it in this color right here. Let's put Yah like this. That's Yah in Hebrew. In the ancient Hebrew, in the Syrian Hebrew. There you go. Of course, it's right to left. This is the ancient. This is the Syrian I'm getting ready to write. So you want to have Yah, then you want to have Ha. Like this. That symbol. Yah-ha. Then you want to have a Wah. Why is that important? Because how is you going to get this to come out and sound like that? Well, we'll make that a little crooked. How about this? Now, there we go. Yah-ha-wah. Okay? Now, you got to say, do we need now? If you didn't know the understanding of the ancient Hebrew, you wouldn't understand how to put another symbol on there. Because Yahweh. You don't know that you got to put another ha out here. That's why in the Assyrian language it's very difficult, really hard to understand actually. Has no connectors. It only has ending sounds. In this case, this ending sound ha doesn't need any ending sound to it other than what we have in front of us. So you have Yah, Ha, Wah. It has no connectors to it at all when you do the Assyrian. None at all. So it's hard to understand. It's hard to understand what the Assyrian is. So in this salute that we're doing here, you know, it's that's why I say the most reliable language that you can count on is the ancient Hebrew. We'll use the Assyrian simply because a lot of our artifacts are written in Assyrian. That's what you got to understand. Okay? I'm pretty sure we can hear now, everybody. We can hear. Yeah. Gotcha. Okay. So that's important. All right. Let's go to a word called Bahasham for the men. As a matter of fact, let's move this down a little bit, give it some room here. Thumb. All right. Let's move it down some so we have some room here. There. Of course, it means you. We'll get into some more words here in a second related. To bless you. All right, Bahasham. Let's write this from right to left. What does Bahasham mean? It's, you got prepositions up here. A lot of people say prepositions or they're sounds. I wouldn't say they're necessarily, well, I guess they're words too when you say in and da. Ba means in. So you can say in the earth. You can say Baha Arataza. You can say Baha Arataza. You can say Bahasham in the name. These prepositions can be interchangeable with any word that it makes sense or it brings out. And it's a preposition, so you always use a preposition before the root word. That root word in this case is sham. Okay? All right. So, but to write Hebrew from right to left, we got to do it again. We got to come over here and write. We'll write the ancient Hebrew. We'll say ba like this. Ba. Okay. And then we have ha. You gotta have You gotta have ha. Okay. So we have ha. Baha. That's these two. We'll start off with that right there. These two sounds. Ba, ha. I'm not going to put the connectors on them yet. We'll wait till we finish with the word. Then we have Sha. What are we going to do with that? So we're going to say sha, and it'll look like this. It's like a W. That's this sound right here. Sha, S-H-A. That's right there. Just happened to be right in front of me there. Okay, sha. That's why this Hebrew chart, you got to learn this chart really well to understand. To understand Hebrew, you really want to learn your chart so you can understand it. This is a beginner's class for basic understanding. Because once you can understand basic writings, then you can make any sound that you want. Well, I don't mean make it, but any sound on that board, you can transliterate it. You can understand it. Sha, then you want to put a ma with it. Okay, here, ma looks like this. Like that. So you have ba, independent connected, ha, independent connected. Now what do we want to do with sham? This is one sound. We want to make all that sound together. Sounds like this. Sham. Now I hope people can hear the broadcast. I did a sound check. I don't know how I got off like that. Doesn't make sense. But anyway. Bahasham. Okay? Yahweh Bahasham. That's what that looks like. This is what this word looks like in ancient Hebrew. Bahasham. We're going to write it here in Assyrian to show you the difference. Because really, let's go back here for a second. This ha right here, you would never, matter of fact, I'll put it in red. You would never hear this ha sound right here. Let's put it right here. You would never hear that ha in Assyrian because you say ya, ha, wa. You wouldn't hear the ha sound over here. Like over here, you can see it because it has a connector. It's trying to connect it. Over here, I can just say Yahweh, and you wouldn't know that it has another ha behind it because the language doesn't act like connectors. It doesn't. So the Syrian language over here that we were given in captivity doesn't, it's the same sounds, but you don't have these connectors over here to help you. So a lot of people get things mixed up and they start to form words that really don't make sense. You know? They form words that they try to make up words, you know? Don't make them up, just accept what's there. And if you make a new sound, a word, let it be something that's already in the Bible, not try to remake it, you know? But Yahweh. The only reason why I know to put this little red sound here, or this red character, that's what they are, is because I know it's here. Y'all understand that? Yahweh. That's the reason why I know that. So, check into the chat. So we have our captain checking in. So that he's watching, I appreciate that. Yahweh Hashem, Yahweh Shai, Barak Atah, to my captain. Yahweh Shemal Atah, Hashem, Yahweh Shai, all the sisters that are out there. Okay. So when we have the ancient Hebrew, Yahweh, those connectors explain what these sounds, that the sounds of the word in English, the transliteration that we're trying to say, it explains it. All you got to do is know the chart. Real simple if you know the chart. Okay? Ba-ha-sham. The root word is sham, which means name. The preposition is ba, in the name. Okay, let's do it in Assyrian here. Let's find out how the Assyrian takes this word. Let's find out here. So we have ba. How do you write a ba in Hebrew, Assyrian? This, when we're in captivity, this is what the B looks like, or the ba, or this sound right here, ba. That's what it looked like. Okay? Now that's a vast difference between here and there. Big difference. Big difference, okay? So you have ba, and then you have ha, that ba preposition. Then you say, okay, I got to look in the board over there for ha, and I got to find out what that look like. Well, there it is right there. It looks like ha. It looks like this little symbol there. We kind of explained that about 2 weeks ago, how this looks like a ha, a ta, and a ka, and they all look alike. All right. So ba, and then we have ha. We have 2 channels right now. The one of the officers should have put down, should be broadcasting. We have the StreamYard chat, so you can check in the class when you feel like it. Ba, ha, ba, ha. Those are the prepositions, all right? Then we have sha. That sha is going to look almost like this sha in Assyrian. The Assyrian sha will look like this. It's almost like the one that we got in ancient, like that. They look a lot alike. Okay? Baha Shah, but we're going to do something special here. Normally, the ma will look like this. I'm going to move this over a little bit so we can see. Let me try to make it get this a little closer here. There we go. Okay, give it some room here. Normally, that sha, S-H-A, that's this sound right here, sha. Normally, you would go and put this M on the end right here, this ma, normally. But because Hebrew, in the ancient Hebrew, when we were in captivity, we had to learn these heathens, the Assyrians, man, they use a whole new sound. I mean, it's the same sound, I'm sorry, a whole new character at the end of their words. In this case, the ma gets a whole nother look, gets a makeover. So we don't use this ma sound, this ma look right here. It looks more like this. These are the ending connectors. This is what you need to understand right here. So it looks like this. Kind of like those, sort of like that. Yeah, sort of. Didn't want it to look too much like a sa. Looks sort of like that. That is the ending connecting ma. Like that. Okay? And that's what the ancient Hebrew looks like. The ancient Hebrew, how it looks that much different than the Assyrian Hebrew. The difference is one has connectors, one has ending characters. In this case, it will be the ma. On the board, you see it over there. It says ka, ma, na, pa, and taza. Well, ma would be one of them. Okay? Bahasham. All right? Yeah, there we go. Okay? So, now you understand, like, if I was to say Bahasham, and now in this case right here, you can hear the ma. So it's totally necessary. It's always necessary, but you must put that ma on there or you wouldn't have this sound. Over here, you can see it. You can see the ma, sham. And you can hear it. Over here, you can see it and hear it. Now over here, when you say Yahweh, Yahweh. Over here, you say Yahweh. This is a wa. So this sounds like, let me put it this way. This is wa. That little character right there is wa. But because you almost hear the ha with it. It's almost like you never hear it. Over here, you can hear it. You can see it because it's connected to it. Over here, if I didn't know that this existed, I would be tempted to do that. Yahweh, without the ha on the end. But because the original writing that the Most High gave us in the ancient Hebrew is the oldest Hebrew, the oldest writing in the world. So the Assyrians can't really, they tried to teach us how to write or give us more characters while we're in captivity, but you can't, they couldn't. So Yahweh, this is not something that we, we learned this in slavery. This is what we had to go under. Here is our natural writing right here. That's the difference. Yahweh. Anyway, Bahasham. You can hear the ma here. All right, cool. All right, let's go to Christ, Yahweh Shah. And this is what you call independent and dependent connectors. I like to put that down so people can see and understand and hear a little better. Yahweh Shah is Christ. Well, let's break that down. Let's break it down a little better here. Let's break. And remember, Hebrew is written from right to left, so we got to start from right to left instead of English. That's we speak these heathens, these devils' language here. We sounded like if I was over in France, it would be a different sound. But when we say Yahweh Shah, we have to use YAHW. But this is what those sounds look like in our original tongue. And that's what we're here tonight for. We're speaking the Lashawan holy tongue. We're priests and prophets of the Most High speaking the holy tongue. That's what this is about. Yahweh. Okay? Bahasham. This is the mid salute. Yahweh Shah. I'm just breaking it down in the Hebrew so you can see it a little better. That's all. For people who are just starting out so they can understand. Take good notes if you want to, if you need to. So we'll say Yahweh. So remember, dependent and independent connectors, though, that's important. So let's break this down. We'll say Yah. Let's just break it down over here. Yah, a little better so you can understand. So we say we already got some of the symbols up here, Yah. So let's just use that. Take advantage of it. Yah, ha, like that. That's the first two. Yaha. And we're going to say Wah. Yahweh. That's the Wah sound right there. Now we're doing ancient Hebrew writing. This is the one that has these connectors here. Okay? Put this right here out of the way. All right. Yahweh. Now we're going to do something special here. We're going to say Shah. Shy. How will we do that? Well, we'll say Shah. And now we have to put an I sound. That's what Yahweh Shah looks like. That's Christ. That's what it actually like. Okay, let's put the connectors there. Let's put these connectors here. Let's get these out of the way there. So it won't. Let's just put it over here out of the way there. That's a independent connector would be like that, and the dependent will look like that. Okay? So, Yah, Ha, Wa, Shai. This Shai right here. This Ha. Yah, Ha, Wa. And we got to say Shai. So what are we going to do here? Now, because Shah is spelled like this. S-H-A. What happened to the Ah? What happened to this? That whole sound is a Shah. But I don't want to say Yahweh Shai. Listen to that sound. Yahweh Shai. I want to say Yahweh Shai, not Yahweh Shai. That's a big difference if you really hear it. So you have to drop this sound right there. So you have to say sha, and then you have to say I like that. Kind of got it backwards there, but shy. Now, if you put these two together, that's why we link them together with what we call a dependent connector. That's the sound. That's the original Hebrew. So when we say Christ's name, Yahweh Shai, from the tribe of Judah, Yahweh, that's how it's spelled, Yahweh Shai. You know, we got people, Yahweh Shai is the leader under Yahweh. That makes sense. And you got people that people that don't want to follow the orders of Yahweh Shai. You know, but if you and I speak, you'll understand that under Commander General Yohana, he has to follow the orders of Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai. We have to follow the orders of Commanding General Yohana, which are under Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai. The women, you have to follow the orders of your men. A lot of people say, "Well, I'm like y'all." No, you ain't like us. You a woman. You have children. You follow orders. You follow orders under that man that you're married to, or the captain that you're assigned to. That's why I gave the women's salute earlier. But now we're talking about the men's salute. We'll follow Yahweh and Yahweh Shai under Commanding General Yohana, just like we did back in the older days under Moses. So, and we follow Christ, who is our Hamashiach, our Savior. Matter of fact, let me write that down right here. He's actually our Savior also, right? He ain't all the heathens' Savior. He's our Savior. So, Yahweh Shai. That's how you write that name. Now, let's write this in Assyrian. Let's see how it falls when we write it in Assyrian. Yah, like that. That's that same Yah right there. That's a Yah in Assyrian. Of course, this right here is the ancient. Right there. Of course, this is the Syrian down here. I'll do this right here. This is a Syrian I'm getting ready to write. Okay. Yah. Then we want to say Ha. Okay. Well, there it is right there. Ha, like this. There's that Ha. Okay. There's that Ha again. Yah Ha. And you want to say Wa. Right? Okay. In Assyrian, this is a Wa right here. That's a Wa. Well, let me get another pen that up. It looks kind of like, I don't know where that is. Yahweh. Okay? There. All right? Now you want to write Shai. Well, there's that little, like this. That's the Shah. A little bit too tall right here. Let's make this a little bit taller. Like that. Okay? Like this. Like that. Okay? Yahweh Shai. Now, what about the eye? Well, let's put it up there. Got to see what the eye looks like. That eye, the eye is going to look special. It's going to look different than this little round O. So it's going to look like this, like that. That's what it looks like in Assyrian. Look at the difference. Salaki for a second. me up, shall I break it down? All right. So, have off in my yard, right? Yahweh Shai. Why is that important? Why is that important? Check the class when you get time, all right? Why is that important to know these differences? It's important to know the difference so you'll understand what language we speak, the original, and what language we speak when we're in captivity, the Assyrian. So you'll know the difference. If I want to explain something, I always explain it in the ancient Hebrew. I may go back most of the time. So why? Because it has these connectors, and I can understand things a whole lot better with these connectors than I can with the ending characters. Okay, a whole lot better because it breaks the word down, and I can understand. I can hear every. You would say syllable, but I can hear every character in the ancient. Like I would never know to drop this ah if I got a I behind it. Usually when you have a I or an ah sound, something's getting ready to happen to the character before or after it. With an ah or an I. Generally, most of the time, not all the time. Just like right when we say Yahweh Shai. I mean, who would know to drop that ah? Well, from experience, I know that you can't say, like I reiterate and repeat again, you don't want to say Yahweh Shai, Yahweh Shai. That don't sound right because it's not right. It's Yahweh Shai. So all we need is the SH of that Shai. That makes sense? And then we add an I because we're going to add an I behind it. We don't have vowels. We don't have vowels. I looked into that a few years ago when I first looked at it. We don't have vowels. But those heathens over there, the Amalek, the ones that Saul should have killed, we're going to talk about that tomorrow. They have vowels, trying to make our sounds with their Yiddish language. Ain't that right there, y'all? Right. They try. Them devils, man. Right? That's what we said. They have their father the devils, John 8:44. We read that, did we not? No. Yeah. See, so that therefore when we say our words using our independent dependent connectors, I have to think about how to write this Assyrian language. Over here, I don't have to do so much thinking. I kind of know what it is. Yahweh Shai. You know? I kind of know because I have these connectors. They help me sound out things a little better. A little better. You know? That makes sense? Okay. Hey, I got you. Yahweh Shai. Okay. But that independent dependent connector got everything to do with the sounds. Everything. Slack for a second. Hold on. Slack. Just mute, right? Yeah. Slack it. Slack it for a second. Okay. Let's continue breaking this down. And I'm just using something simple as a men salute to break down sounds, to break down the words. and to break down the understanding of how we derive. The Most High gave us this original language in red here, of course, or I would say the original ancient Hebrew, and in comparison, the Assyrian, you have to really work hard at it to get the correct sounds out of it. Okay, all right, let's go to bless and thought, then we'll move on to something different. All right, we'll erase this right here. Now that we know what they are, independent, dependent connections right here. Hope people have written that down. All right, bless. What does that mean? Barak means to bless. You're asking the Most High on the name of Yahweh Shai, that brother. You're asking the blessings of of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai in the name of Christ. That brother, you're asking him to bless you, man. You know, that's what we're asking. Slack for a second. Slack. All right. Lock you there. All right. The word bless, barak. You, atah. Okay? Bless. We write Hebrew, like I said, again, from right to left. So when we say ba, that's a ba right there. Ba. Then we have an unusual character that looks like this, a ra, like a backwards 4 almost. Something like that. Barak. Now here we go again. We got this ka sound that we need to bring out. This ka. Okay, you know, how do you know to bring it out? Because it don't have a I on the end, so you have to look on the chart, say, what does it look like? Look like this. But just like that. So we have Barak. There are people named in the it's a good Hebrew name, but it means bless. So we say Barak. There are the connectors. Again, to reiterate, that's an independent sound, so it has independent connected to it, and that's Ba. What about rock? Okay, so we say like this, because we want to join those two sounds together. What sounds? These sounds right here. That ba and that ra. That's what we wanted to sound together, just like that. Okay? Ba and the ra. All right, that makes sense? There again. Now I know I don't have to go further, because not only do I not, if I saw this right here out in the open, I don't have to add an ah on here. I don't have to add that. I don't need that. I don't need that right there. That would be an ah. I don't want to say barakah. Because once you join, don't you say ba then ra, you join but you say ba, but you want to say rock. You don't want to say rakah. You want to say just rock and just hear the ka sound without the a. I don't want to hear the ah on there. So therefore I don't need this ah here. Although ka itself by itself looks like this. It looks like ka. But what happened to the ah? What happened to this? What happened to that? What happened to that sound? What happened to this ah here? Well, it doesn't need it. So if it doesn't need it, then get it out of there. Now, how do you know it don't need it? Because the sound, because these connectors only connect ra and ka. The concept is really not that hard to understand. It's just that people, you'll make it difficult if you try to do it. And I'm saying something so slow. Here, we don't need this either. I'm being very mundane about it, taking my time, because a lot of people say, "Oh man, why don't they move on to something else?" Listen, because if you can understand something as simple as this right here, you can break down any word. Any word. You don't need a whole lot of explanation of different things. All you need is just some simplicity here, just how you break down words. Now, I don't need this sound right here. I don't need this right here. Matter of fact, I'll put it in black right here so people can see it. I don't need that sound that's on ka. Now, this reoccurs in different times in different words, especially when it's at the end of a word. Now, in Assyrian, we're going to write that Assyrian in a second. You'll see that you can't hardly tell that that's an sound on the end or not. You don't know. But here, I know for a fact, if I saw this in a book or I saw it on a stone or in writing, it says only join that and that. That sound, ka. That means I don't need another sound by that. All I need is that beginning ka of that first sound. Barak, not baraka. I don't need this sound. That's the point. That's what you got to understand. So we get rid of that. We don't need that. Okay. Now, that's because we have the independent and the dependent connectors. All right. Let's write down. Let's write the that in Assyrian. Ba. And then we have what we call a ra. Ra doesn't need any connectors because it's it's Assyrian, and Assyrian doesn't have that. But let's find out. It's a ka sound. What does that mean? Well, we got to find out. Does that ka have an ending connector? Yeah, actually it does. It actually has an end connector on it. All right. All right. All right. So let's do that. Now, normally it will look like, that ka right there, it'll look like this. That ka, it'll try to look like this right here. Like that. Almost like the ancient one. But in Assyrian, we're taught to not use this ka. We want to use an ending sound. We want to use a whole nother look. And it will look like this. That's what you don't want. That's the ka. You want this. Why? Where is that on this chart? It's right here. You want to say right there. That ka right there. Y'all can see it right there. So let's go there. It looks like this. We'll break it down. It looks like this. Like that. That's what you have to understand. Okay? That's what you need to understand. Like that. Okay? All right. Let's see here. Let's bring this over here again. We have what? Princess Nakan class. Let's see who we have over here in the, let's see. Captain. It's made things happen for us over here. All right. The YouTube sound. Yeah. Okay. We got that fixed over here. Right. Okay. Okay. All right. This cop. So this ending character right here, that ka is the one you want to use instead of the one that looks sort of like that. Now, but really, you don't really hear the after that. Now, if you were looking at this, you'll say Barak. And in this case, you would understand that's all you hear is the ka. like this. You don't hear that ah right there. In that case. Okay. Barak. Over here, it's a definite. You know that that's just rock by itself. Barak. No other sound. Of course, it's really understood. In our original language, this language right here, I'm not going to say it don't make no sense. It's just this ancient. I mean, the ancient tells you and it spells it out exactly. It sort of helps you understand this Assyrian right here. Assyrian, Barak. In this case, you don't hear ah behind you anyway. You just hear Barak. Okay? That's just the way that word flows. You don't hear the ah naturally behind it anyway. So we're gonna say we'll go to atha. Now atha means you, or you can say a thumb in plural. In this case, it's just singular. Okay, singular, like this. All right, and so we say ah, like that. This is the ancient. Ah, well, let's do it in red here so we see it a little better here. All right. Let's do it like that. We're writing the men salute, and it's and all taking the time to write it out in and spell it out in the ancient and the Assyrian. That's what we're doing here. Yahweh, Bashem, Yahweh Shai, Barak, Atah. Or for plural, it'll be Barak, Atham. So we want to say ah. Yeah. The reason why we do this is because this lets you know that that we have rank and order, let you know that we have commands, let you know that we have greetings for our brothers. I mean, you know, we salutes for our brothers. We bless our brothers. And of course, the sisters had another writing that I just had on the board. Yahweh Shema Thabah Shem Yahweh Shai. We had that on there too. You know, it lets you know you got people that you know they live to ridicule. But what you want is when you say this right here, this is the real deal. Yahweh Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Barakatah, Barakatham. But some people, they don't, you know, they say anything but this. But this is how we do it in HBK. You know, we got a lot of people that just live in an imaginary land, imaginary world. But this is a salute that the Most High had for his people. Okay? So, is AH. How you know that? Because that's on the chart over there. It says In the real world, this is the salute. Okay? Tha. Where's the tha? There it's right there. It looks like a little cross like this. Tha. Okay? Just like that. And we'll always put the connectors at the end because you never know what something's going to sound like. In case we already know what this says. Tha. And then we have a ha on the end. There's that sound, but we're going to drop something. We're going to drop the right here. Ha. Looks like that. Okay? But we don't need the A on there. We don't need the A on the end. So we drop it. Now, I mean, that's how we knew. Before we knew this word, what it was spelled, this is the key to understanding that. So we say singular, and then we would express that little U looking right there, the U symbol. The independent connector and the dependent connector. That's what we want. Okay? Independent connector and a dependent connector. Or automatically, you know that's just atha. Because that's how we write our letters. But now if I write this in Assyrian, I'll show you here in a second, it may look like ataha. Or it'll look like this. it may look like, let's see, it may look like, to some people it might look, it looks like this, and we'll say ah, and then we'll say tha, and then we'll say, of course you want to say the ha, you want to say like this. Like that. We'll put little bullets in there so people see the difference. Atha, but it ain't really atha, it's atha. How do you know that? Why didn't we just stop with the ha right there? Why did we, well, we know, why do we draw on this ha there? Because this is atha. But if I say atha and keep blending that ha sound, and that's what you have to do with Hebrew words. Because when you got over here this Assyrian, it's kind of hard to know, well, where's the ah behind that? Well, you don't need it. Especially, you can see it right here. Ah. We don't go and put the ah behind there. So what's done here, we don't need it here. And ain't no telling what you'll get when you have Yiddish. It just ain't no telling. But stick with the Hebrew. That's the stick with the Hebrew. I love to use the Assyrian writing. Okay. I love to use the Assyrian writing because I know that whether you, like in these other camps, whether they try to ridicule or whatever, or not understand what we're doing, this is the real deal right here. I'm showing you the proof. No matter how you understand it or not. But when you see stuff like people try to use words, they'll try to use it in the Assyrian, and that they don't understand, because they don't understand this. I know I never understood it when I was out in the world. Until you get an HBK, then you begin to understand both the Assyrian and the ancient. I try to depict it in red here for the ancient and the Assyrian. Now you can understand the differences. When you see the differences, now you see why there are words that are mispronounced. That makes sense? You have words that are mispronounced. But when you see how these are written, like Yahweh, you'll have no other sound behind that. Over here, you could almost, like I reiterate and repeat again, you could almost drop this ha sound here, and it'll say Yahweh without the ha or that H sound there. Because you don't see that it's really trying to tell you to add it right here. Yahweh. There's that H sound right there. Because this is really a ha. Right there. Well, okay. All right, I'll add it over here. Because I know in the ancient writings, that's what's supposed to be. Okay? That's what's supposed to happen. That's the way. So we have again, and of course we learned in class here. I try to take the whole class so we can do some basic understanding, because when people look at this, they'll understand. I think it was Princess Nakar, even our captain, and some other people in the yard checking in the class. Yeah, got it. Have a little, people should have set the sound up. They set it up bass backwards. But I think we finally got it straight here. And somebody did, or whatever. Most High, we had some technical difficulties, but the Most High, we got it right. Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. That's how clean that word looked. In Assyrian, we have Yahweh Shai here, so we know to add just the Shah, SH, and the I alone. It's hard to tell until you know the red ancient here tells the original story. Barak, Barak. You don't need the ah behind there, because it's rare that we would put a ka with a ah sound. Barakah. Like I say again, Barak. That's all you hear. That's all you hear. And sometimes the Q sound, it's not a qua sound when it's at the end. It's ka. It may sound weird to you, but that's what it is. Like just like in my name, Kazakh. That's Chaa. That's ka, and then za, and then ka, qua. Just like you have like Iran and Iraq. So that qua sound is really a ka sound when it occurs at the end of a word. But anyway, this is Barak. That ka and that qua sound alike at the end right there. So, there's a whole lot of different ways of understanding. But once you get used to it, you'll begin to hear it better. And so when you see it, you'll be able to pronounce it and enunciate it better. Why? Because when we do Sabbath service class, when we go over letters and understanding, when you read it, your speed will pick up and everything just by understanding basic rules. Basic. When to drop something, when to add something. How do you know that? Well, you keep doing it over and over again, and you'll begin to see. Anyway, Yahweh, Bashem, Yahweh Shah, Barak Atah. Well, we'll say also, I forgot to say the plural of Atah. Let's do that for a second here. Atah, the plural of Atah would be a thumb. Like this. Thumb. So there we go. A thumb. That's the plural. When you say, we'll put it over here. You is instead of saying you, we're gonna say y'all. We'll use a country word like that. It's many of yous or y'all or plural. Put it down as plural. Okay. Because I may want to say, I may want to say, Yahweh Hashem, Yahweh Shai, Barak Atham. I may want to speak to many people, many brothers, and say, let's bless them all. Let's, in one sound, in one greeting there. You don't have to keep saying it to many people. But that's understanding plural. And women would say Athan. There's a feminine and a masculine difference between words here in Hebrew. So we adopt that in ISHPK. There's Light School of Universal Practical Knowledge, so people understand it when we're teaching it. A lot of these faith camps, they have no clue what this is. They don't understand. Matter of fact, like I said, again, we have people around calling them Yah. They don't know. They don't know what prepositions are. We open this class up for people to understand things, and we understand how we drop things and add things and omit at the end of letters, so you'll understand how they sound and how you make up things. That's important. That makes sense? So, yeah. All right. Well, we got all this together. We'll write one thing up here. I'm going to write a. All right. Let's see here. I don't want to. Okay, that's the men's salute. Let me add a little space right here, so I'll write something when we're writing. Let's write a couple words here before we go. We wrote Barak. We'll write a word like let's do this right here. Let's do just a little bit. I always like to. We got a little bit of time. I always like to do a little bit on the on the numbers. Okay. If I would write the first word like akkad. Okay. Very simple, you know. It just simply means one. Okay. Or you could say like first, it would be Ra'ash. I think this is right. Ra'ash one. Rash one, I think. Yeah. Ra'ash one. That means one. All the Akim out there. You know, flock to the men under me. And Akwathian, that's the women. Akkad, Rashwan. And of course, we use something like, if you want to say two, we say Akkad, and we say Shanya. And there you go. I mean, when you read it, when you're looking at these words, you're still understanding that you're using Shah. We're still using the same, like right here, Shah. That. Right there. That sound. That's the Shah right there. That's the symbol. When you see that, that says Shah. And so we're using the same thing. Anytime you form a word using the English, we have the English transliteration right up under these sounds. That's all they are, sounds. So you have to learn the chart. So Shanya, and then we have what we call what, 3? Let's say we put it over here. We ain't gonna go through all of them. But what's 3? Akkad, Shanya, then we say Shalash. We'll say Shah, Lash. Because we know these are prepositions right here. Okay? Shalash. So 1, 2, 3, and so on and so forth. There you go. You got that Shah again. Shah. And then you have La. Then you have another Shah. So by saying that, you say Shah, and this La looks like this. And then you have Shah look like this. Okay? So to spell it in ancient, it's La, Shah, La, and then you have Shah. So you put them together. If you want to spell that word, you say Shah, La, like this. And La, Shalah, and then you have like that. Of course, you have to have your connectors on there. What are the connectors? They look like this. Shah. Then you have to connect them together right there. So that just you got to understand. You got to have Shah. Then you have La and Shah. That's what that gives you the word this Lash. That sound right there. Those are the independent connector, and these are the dependent connectors right here that join these two sounds together. That little upside down, that little U and this upside down is independent. That's what you got to understand in Hebrew. That's how that works. So I say where 1, 2, 3. Rosh one means first. We'll write that out there. It just simply means first. Now a lot of people say, well, what, how about 100? See if we got room here. Let's see if we got time here. Yeah, we got just a little time. I'll write a few things. I'll write 2 more things up here, then we'll be done. 100 is, see if we got room over here. Yeah, we do. 100 is the word ma'ah. That is 100. And of course, that's like, if you were saying like that, 100. And if you say, well, what about 1,000? Next week, we may go over that. That would be a lot. Maybe they'll get the sound together or they leave class next time. A lot. That's how you say 1,000. Okay? All right? Slap. All right. Okay. All right. So we understand in Hebrew, under Abarian, Hebrew, tongue, Lashawan Qadash. All right? And if you want to say the men salute, like I reiterate, is Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Barak Atah, or Barak Atham. Let's clap it up in class, okay? That's what you got to understand. We'll build with that next week. Let's do some security announcements. The security announcements, if we have any questions, just put them in the chat. We are the ICBK, start off 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York. Room for the new brother and sister. When a new brother or sister comes into school, they are off limits for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. They are here to shed themselves to the world. If they need transportation, the teacher will arrange it. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to the brother or sister. There's another 6 months in which the brother and sister will court each other. After this 6 month period, the brother and sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithes, which is a commandment, Numbers 18 and 21, Malachi 3, 8 and 10, means 10th in the Hebrew. Ma Aisharah. 10% of every penny of increase the Most High gives you. Give to the Treasury Department or teacher. The priest fund. Free will offering or priest. It's not mandatory. Whatever the amount you will like. Upcoming holy convocations. Announce holy convocations. Okay, sorry. All right. All right. The next holy convocation, of course, we're going to have is our Passover, the 14th day of the first month. It's going to be Saturday, April 20th, 2024. We'll see that in Exodus 12, 1 through 51, Leviticus 23, 4 and 5, 1 Corinthians 5, 7 and 8, and 2 Corinthians 30 and 17. That's our Passover. Then we're going to celebrate this year, 2024, we're going to have it in Durham. Is that right? Yeah. Durham. Last time we had it in Raleigh. Durham, North Carolina. Make sure you pay your Passover fees. I believe it's $200 for people above brothers and sisters, Akim and Hakwafian, above 18 years old. So, we're going to have, lamb slaughter, black party, man, General Mahaiman's lecture, and then we're going to have the Passover, and of course, we'll have the Feast of Unleavened Bread. But make sure you pay your Passover fee, man. Come on out to Durham, get with your camp leaders, man, and we'll have a great time, And we're going to end class, and we're going to salute out the brothers. We're going to Ahmad Shabbat, Ahmad Barak, Yahweh Hashem, Yahweh Shai, Barak Atham to all my brothers, Yamatah. We're going to face the sisters, and we're going to salute out our sisters. Madu Shabbat, Madu. Yahweh Shamar, Alatah, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Yamatah. Class dismissed.